Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as you can tell by looking at the racetrack, rain came in late this afternoon, and it has really affected the schedule. Let's get the latest from the president of the IRL, Brian Barnhart. He is with Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, President of the Indy Racing League, Brian Barnhart, what is the decision on today, and what's the plan?
Well, unfortunately, we've had another rainstorm come through, so track activities for the day are shut down and canceled for the remainder of the day. We wouldn't have been able to get the track dried and finish practice session for the second group and then begin or even get through the qualifying line. So we are done for the day, and we'll move back and stay on schedule. Track will remain closed Monday and Tuesday. We will practice Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and move into qualifying on the third day as previously scheduled. We'll do it for all 33 positions in the field, and then bump day will be on Sunday.
Was there any consideration, Brian, to maybe trying to go on Monday or Tuesday, despite the fact that the schedule had called for the track to be closed?
Well, we tried to look at all options, and that was certainly contemplated, but I think in the best case scenario, I don't think that's very good for anybody. There's a lot of scheduling issues, and people weren't planning on being at the track on days that were closed, so we just felt it's in everybody's best interest, starting with the fans, that we stick to the schedule, and we'll move into qualifying as we originally planned on Saturday.
We're told the teams were lobbying, and they applaud this decision when you made the announcement here just a second ago, the fact that they're going to get some more practice time before what should be a great pole day on Saturday.
Well, the track time's at a premium. We haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to be practicing, and you know, the second week runners now get to join as well, so there'll be a good mix between guys focusing on their race preparation and their full tank runs, and also they'll be putting a premium on a good qualifying setup and looking at the eye on the weather on Saturday and whatever the setup is, so they can jockey for position among all 11 rows.
Hey, Brian, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Jerry.
Brian Barnhart making a decision that qualifying is done for the day. We'll go with 33 spots next Saturday and bump day all day Sunday.
All right, Doc, let's show you what's going to happen now, because we're going to have pole day for you now next Saturday, 5 to 6 Eastern, and then we're going to come right back with a pole day primetime special. This is an added feature because of what's happened here. That'll be seen from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, all of it on ESPN. All right, let's talk about what's going to happen as far as qualifying rules next weekend. On Saturday, each car is going to get 3 attempts per day. So the top 33 speeds will qualify. The fastest qualifier will earn the pole position. So the drama continues to build, guys. Let's first off talk about the decision. Right move, or should we have tried to come back again tomorrow?
Well, you know, I think if you're ready to go qualifying right now, you want to get it done. But if you need a little bit more time, like some people that were in the middle of the pack do, or maybe the second weekend qualifiers are looking to have this opportunity to run on Saturday, because now they were going to be a third-day qualifier starting from 23rd onwards. Now they have the opportunity to be anywhere in the field. Certainly they're not fast enough to be in the front 11. That would have been on first pole day, but certainly they might have an opportunity to be in that middle category, so a positive for them.
But Rusty, now we're talking about 33 people trying to punch their way into this field all in one day. We thought the pressure was going to be bad with just 11, then 22.
Well, it just reminds me of a big NASCAR race. We do everything in one day over there, and it's not a problem to do 43 cars. So they got 33 cars to do. I just don't see everybody doing a whole bunch of attempts on next week on Saturday. They're allowed 3 attempts. They'll probably lay a big number out, Ganassi, Penske, and probably stick with it. I really think that it's going to be a tough day on Saturday, but we're going to get a lot of practice on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, big day on Saturday, bump day on Sunday. I think it was definitely the right move.
But Rusty, the difference is 3 attempts per car. You don't get bumped out. You only get bumped out once in NASCAR. Now you can work your way back in. We could see people leapfrogging all afternoon. Now let's take you back to a little bit earlier today when we did finally get cars out on the racetrack, and Dan Weldon took over the top spot, fastest lap, 228.663 miles an hour. And Sam Hornish right behind him.
Right behind. Those guys have swapped first and second throughout this whole weekend. Fourth and onwards has been just a great trek between all those two teams, and that's certainly going to be a shootout between the both of them.
I think it's going to be a shootout between both of them also. Castro Nevis and Hornish and Ganassi. But I'll tell you, Andretti Green Racing, they've been looking awful strong too. It's I think these guys can be paired. Michael Andretti, he's been a good one too. He's been pretty fast also, Marty.
And he is 11th quickest overall, and you saw his speed there. Now, Danica Patrick, this is one of the teams that's really glad that this all got washed out, because look where she is, 17th fastest overall, and her 2 teammates aren't any better. So as we get ready to leave you now, we'll be taking you back to Atlanta, where we have NHRA Sportsman Drag Racing coming your way. There's our schedule for next week. We'll see at 5 Eastern and again at 7 Eastern on ESPN. For Rusty, Scott, and all the rest of our crew.
Four straight days of rain have cut into the schedule for the 90th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. Thursday's practice ended early. It was too wet to test on Friday, and Saturday's pole day was delayed to Sunday. Track crews needed 3.5 hours to dry the speedway before drivers could get down to business. The IRL and Firestone were also concerned about unseasonably low temperatures. The rubber won't grip properly when it's less than 50 degrees. Teams were divided into 2 groups for practice. Scott Dixon was in the 227 mile-per-hour range to lead the first session for Target Chip Ganassi Racing. When the second pack hit the track, Dixon's teammate Dan Weldon clicked off the fastest lap of the month at 228.6 miles per hour. Then the rain returned, ending the day and moving pole day to next Saturday. Question is, will those speeds hold up?
A real speed will be 226. I don't think you're going to see a 228.5. If you see a 228.5, I am going to be impressed. I don't think that's a real possibility, but you never know. But definitely at 226, I think you can see it.
It's always the session before qualifying. Everybody's trimming out, everybody's putting on new tires, and then obviously, because everybody's going out, there's a lot of towing going around. So I think a lot of those numbers are a little bit false to see exactly who is who and where they should be, but certainly there are some strong guys up at the front, but you know how a lot of the guys are going to place, I think you're going to have to wait in qualifying to see that.
I got a bit of a toe, and I understand Dan got a fairly impressive toe. It's all about toes. I expect, you know, you've seen the guys that are running up front all week. I think you'll see the same guys. We get in the mix a bit. I don't think we'll see anywhere near those kind of numbers in qualifying.
I'm not going to do 228, 229, 227 in qualifying, but if we can get up there and you know, qualify just somewhere around, you know, top 10. I mean, top 10 would be like a dream come true for me. So we'll see what happens, and I'm going to cross my fingers, and I hope everyone else does.
No on-track activity is scheduled for Monday or Tuesday. The track will reopen for practice on Wednesday through Friday. Saturday is pole day, and all 33 positions in the field will be up for grabs. Sunday will be bump day, a chance for cars to knock slower cars out of the lineup.
And it is time to yield to the experts. SpeedTV.com's Robin Miller, 6-time Indy starter Derek Daly, live at Indy.
I don't know if we're experts, Drew. We're just dumb old guys that stood out here in the rain all day thinking, oh, yeah, something's going to happen. I can tell you this, though. You got rained out in 86 in the qualifying line. This is the first time since 83 the whole first weekend's been rained out. But we make a big deal out of it. It makes us mad. It's frustrating. But it ain't going to make any difference about who starts up front, does it?
When it all washes out, it is clear that there are 2 teams that are fast here, Ganassi and Penske. And the only difference washing out this weekend makes is the boys who will qualify on the front row don't have an extra week to brag about how good they did.
Exactly. Derek, when this all shakes out, too, we just saw the speeds from today. I said, I watched Sam Hornish run all by himself the other day at 226, and I thought it'll be Hornish or Castroneves or Weldon or Dixon. It's not going to be any surprises. You think there might be a 228?
I do think there will be a 228. I just think they can trim these cars out a little bit better. They know a little bit more about the cars from last year. The engines are not as powerful as last year. Honda did not need to roll out special qualifying engines, but I will not be surprised to see a 228 in qualifying, hopefully next Saturday.
Well, everybody says, okay, everybody's got a Honda. Why are these 2 teams clearly faster in the first 3 races and all month than everybody else?
They all buy the same chassis from Dallara. They are better prepared. They are better understood. They set them up better. And like everybody knows, setup is key to speed here in Indianapolis. These are the 2 best teams here.
Derek, when you look at the rest of the guys, I mean, all these guys have these second weekend engines. They get 400 miles. So Ari Leindike's saying, my kid's going to be out there for 48 laps, 48 laps, 48 laps, 24 laps at qualifying, 12 laps in carb day. A little bit of a dangerous situation because most of these, there's about 7 guys that need all the track time they can get.
I think it will be a slight disadvantage for them, but really they're going to be at the back of the grid anyway. They're going to be glad to be able to walk down the pit lane and ask somebody some information, please help me. So really they're not going to feature heavily. They're just going to be glad to make it into the Indy 500 if they make it.
Okay, it looks like when this place closes tonight, we've got 32 car driver combinations. We saw Max Pappas walking around, Davey Hamilton. One of those two guys may be in Eddie Cheever's second car, so that gives us 33. P.J. Jones may jump in a car. There might be one bump. Say that for the fans, bump.
There might be one bump on Bubble Day, but I'm not so sure.
Right. Let's talk real quickly about last week. Kevin Kalkoven spent all day Wednesday and all day Thursday with Tony George in Indianapolis talking about trying to get unification. They're going to continue talking, Kevin Kalkoven says, but I think it's a long shot to happen in 2007. What do you think?
There is so much hope up and down the pit lane here with almost everybody that hopes there is unification for the sake of the building of the future of open wheel racing in America. There is conjecture. Nobody really knows what's going to happen except Kevin and Tony. You are probably plugged in more than anybody else to the underworld, let's say. Do you believe it'll happen?
I don't believe. I think it's going to happen eventually, but I don't think it's going to be awful tough for it to happen by 2007 because so many things have to happen so quickly. So, but like Derek said, the big story might be pole day, but all anybody's talking about is we need one series, and I think everybody that wants open wheel racing to succeed knows that.
All right, Robin Miller, Derek Daly live at IMS. Guys, I'm sure we'll hear more from you as the month progresses, come rain or shine. Several speed staffers have set up shop in the old snake pit where Mom didn't let me go when I was younger for the infield for the month of May. Get daily updates from Robin Miller, Jeff Olson, and other riders on SpeedTV.com. Here's a live look at your essential stop on the web for motorsports.
Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain is presented by the 3,400 CarQuest Auto Parts stores across North America. CarQuest, the professional choice.
Robin Miller is on the phone. Robin, we kind of have to hurry here tonight. Do I understand you have some issues today? You always have issues.
I got one issue.
Okay.
When the IRL announces that they're going to postpone qualifying until next weekend because they want to do it for the fans.
Right.
Yeah, all 150 fans. They did it because ESPN and ABC said, oh, yeah, you're going to have pole day on Monday and we're paying you money? Right. And we're going to run the tape delay next Saturday? I don't think so.
You got people hot last week when you said on Speed News something about 40 people being there for rookie orientation, because I read the column that said there were at least 10,000. So I'm sure somewhere between 4,000 and 10,000.
Those people have no clue. They don't know how to count a crowd. I do.
I've also heard some kind of paranoid raving from you about NASCAR trying to screw up the debut of the new series for the old Silver Crown cars Wednesday night. What's that all about?
Okay, Jason McCord and Jason Smith are starting the big car series this Wednesday night at Raceway Park with the old-style, real USAC dirt cars on the pavement.
Right.
And they were going to have, before the season's over, you're going to see Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, hopefully Casey Kane, Kenny Schrader, guys like that running this series. Now, Jason Leffler is going to be there this Wednesday. Mike Bliss was supposed to be, but NASCAR unbelievably threw in a truck test Wednesday night. So is this NASCAR trying to say a Wednesday night truck test, please? So, NASCAR's, they're in bed with USAC, and they don't want this series probably to do any good. So I certainly wouldn't put it beyond NASCAR trying to sabotage my boy Jason McCord. But you know what? If he gets all these badass NASCAR drivers, there's nothing NASCAR can do about it.
So you got a couple of – you got Bliss and who else? I guess Hines would have to be –
Well, we got Bliss and Hines, and Bliss won't be there Wednesday, but Leffler will be there.
So they're having to go to the truck test. And
right.
All right. So in 10 seconds, you think NASCAR seriously considers this old Silver Crown car series some sort of competition to the new Silver Crown mile-and-a-half pavement cars?
Absolutely, and they'd probably like to see it go away faster than they'd like to see it start, because if you get Stewart or Carl Edwards and Ryan Newman at these races, you're going to have 10 or 12,000 people who actually care instead of those god-awful, ugly things USAC has gone to as far as pavement cars.
Robin, we can always count on you to stir things up. Thanks,
See
man.
you, Davey.
Bye. And with that, I suspect, there we go. It's the pizza vending bartender guy.